I love to bake. Cookies, muffins, breads, they not only look and taste great, but they fill your kitchen with pleasant aromas. Baking can be tricky though, if you have a gluten allergy or you don't want to use all-purpose flours or other refined flours. Even some of the more popular alternative flours can be troublesome for those with allergies, such as almond flour or oat flour. Rather than look to the future for a new baking flour, we can harken back to the days of our ancestors, who used a variety of nutrient-rich grains that, believe it or not, still hold up well today. We call these foods ancient grains, although the name is somewhat of a misnomer.
The ancient grain refers to a category of grains, particularly pseudo-cereals, that possess a very unique health benefit, and that's beneficial to the modern humans because we, at least for the Western world, we have enough the calories and protein, the minerals, those essential nutritional requirements for our health, but we get lost in terms of some of those micronutrients, some of those things that can help us from getting early cardiovascular diseases or potentially some other chronic diseases. And so that's kind of things that people believe that the ancient grain over time can help.
That's Dr. Sean Liu, Research Leader at the Functional Foods Research Unit in Peoria, Illinois. Liu is researching ways to make ancient grains more nutritional, and he wants to make them more attractive to consumers. Ancient grains include quinoa, sorghum, amaranth, and buckwheat, although some of these aren't actually grains, but pseudo-grains, meaning they're actually seeds but have similar nutrient compositions to cereal grains. Many of these ancient grains are packed with micronutrients, making them super healthy. Amaranth is rich in protein, fiber, antioxidants, and other vitamins. Sorghum is high in protein, vitamins, antioxidants, and has great versatility. Chia is a low-calorie seed that offers omega-3 fatty acids, fiber, and important vitamins like B1 and B2. Then there's the super grain quinoa.
Quinoa is a very good amino acid profile and protein content, as well as the minerals that a healthy diet requires. And it does not have some of those things that we tend to associate with diabetics, for instance, very easily digestible starch or sugars that can cause the blood sugar goes up quickly when you consume. So that's something that people find very useful, and also tastes pretty good too. One of the things about sorghum is that it contains a lot of polyphenol compounds, which is antioxidant. It has the ability of provide fiber to the consumers. Amaranth, on the other hand, has very good balance of protein and minerals and then fibers. So that is kind of things that give you very good nutritional inputs.
These ancient grains have so many nutritional benefits, so why aren't they more popular? Well, for one, they're not easy to find. However, Liu points out that grocery markets are stocking their shelves nowadays with more diverse grains and baking goods. But more importantly, consumers may not know how to cook or bake with these alternative grains.
The problem with amaranth and sorghum is that, first of all, a lot of people don't know how to deal with it. They never cooked it, so they have no idea how that will end up on their plates. That's one thing. The second problem is that sorghum and amaranth do have some kind of very unique flavor. Some people find it's nutty, earthy, but it all depends on your taste bud. But some of the things can be changed or altered or masked by processing or blending with the other food materials to lessen that kind of impact.
Our senses play such a large role in what we eat, how a food tastes, how it feels in our mouths, how it smells. Trying a new food is always a challenge, even if it's healthier. Quinoa, for example, is a light, fluffy pseudo-grain with a distinct mouth feel. Sorghum has a different, almost nutty smell to it, and amaranth has a nutty, even earthy taste. These are not bad traits, but rather traits that your senses have to get used to for the best enjoyment. For example, sorghum millet, which is ground sorghum, is a nice substitute for oatmeal, and if you add other ingredients to your sorghum oatmeal, like berries, nuts, and brown sugar, you'll likely get a more enjoyable experience.
In order to make the people to consume more of those grains, I think the best idea is try to find a way to get into the food ingredient in some of the most common popular food categories. Give you an example is bakery, cookie, bread, whatever it is. Our goal is try to replace some of the original wheat portion with ancient grain flours. But the replacement is not that straightforward because sometimes they will alter the texture and how you process and how long you have to bake it and what kind of the texture eventually you'll find out. It's a very difficult question because, for instance, one of the examples is the amaranth flours.
Amaranth is a good baking substitute for wheat, but it doesn't have the same viscosity. That'll surely affect how it rises and finishes and tastes. Lou is mixing amaranth with oat bran, which has high viscosity, and it allows you to replace the wheat, maybe not at 100%, but rather 30 to 40%. This is still an amount where you're getting a lot more micronutrients into your baked goods.
You have to figure out scientifically what's the relationship when you replace something, what's the impact of the replacement on the final products, the texture, the color, and the flavors. That things have to be considered.
Lou and his team work closely with the food industry to add these micronutrient grains into everyday food products. For example, he recently worked with a company in Peoria to incorporate healthy grains into a school lunch program.
In the school lunch program, they're adding grains by introducing dietary fibers to make them more healthy. So the kids eat a hamburger, they also eat the dietary fiber. So that's good for their health.
The one thing about these ancient grains is there's almost no end to the variety you could choose from. I asked Lou to name one ancient grain, or pseudo-grain, that he thinks Americans should try to get more of in their diet.
Personally, that's one grain we haven't even talked about it. Buckwheat is pretty good. It provides a lot of dietary fibers, minerals, and a very good protein profile. It has been consumed by a lot of people outside the United States. Particularly in East Asia and East Europe. In general, it's very good health promoting ingredients.
Speaking of buckwheat, we just released a Cooking with Science video that shares some tasty buckwheat recipes, including buckwheat pasta. In fact, we have several Cooking with Science videos using ancient grains for dishes such as chicken and waffles with sorghum, farro salad, and chocolate chip cookies with teff flour. Links are in the description below. Okay, enough shameful plugs for one day. Let's get back to the podcast. What we've learned so far is that many ancient grains are packed with nutrients and could be added to everyday foods or used as a replacement for items like refined flours. And they're making inroads in our grocery markets and restaurants. But the big wave to conversion hasn't happened yet. Why is that? Lou said the biggest challenge is acceptability.
That's actually very critical. Consumers realize that their diet is not that good. The problem is that the purchase habits not driven by the consideration of those health benefit issues. They are still driven by taste or familiarities with the products they used to consume. So you can have all the ideas and you can discover all the health benefits. When it comes to consumer acceptability, you will have an issue. One of the strategies we are developing is try to, yes, we realize a lot of people love chips, potato chips. Our goal is trying to find kind of an alternative or find some ingredient that will replace some of those ingredients in potato chips with something else that you actually get a benefit. So the consumers can benefit without even notice the changes because the taste, texture, color, flavor exactly the same as they consumed in the past. So that would be the ideal situation for us.
Check out our next episode, where we try some rice that's fit for a king or an emperor.